Hello, everyone. This is Justin, and I know it's been quite a while since I've put up a video, so I wanted to go ahead and get something out for you guys. So I'll be doing some painting of miniatures today and doing a little bit of rambling speech. I'm really sorry that I haven't put out more videos for you guys, but things have been incredibly busy and crazy this last year. But I'll talk a little bit about that. So if you have seen my other video on painting miniatures, we're actually dealing with the same set. They've been sitting on a shelf for quite a while in an unfinished state. Done some work on them, and we're getting pretty close to finishing them up. So that's what I'll be working on today. I'm gonna start off with some dry brushing. These guys are designed for the desert, so I went with a pretty orangey shade for their skin, but it's a little bit too orange, and to give a little definition, just gonna add a lighter, paler highlight so it'll feel a little more realistic. So I've got my paint ready to go. I've already stolen it from my container here. Have a selection of brushes to use today. Brushes always have kind of a nice sound. Just I can do that where you guys can see it a little better. Get the sonic experience of what it would be like to be a miniature being painted. A little bit of brushing there. Okay, so let's go ahead. We're going to start out with Elfic Flesh as our shade here, which is a pale flesh tone. Get some out on my little palette here, which is really just a piece of cardboard. Just some, dilute this a little bit with water. This paint is a little bit old. It's kind of on the cusp of going bad. I think it's gonna work for us today, but it's been sitting around a while, unfortunately, not being used. But that's why we're here today. Probably pretty good. I'm just gonna dry out the brush so it'll just barely be putting paint on the highlights. It's a little too much still. quite there yet. We're just getting a tiny bit of color on the edges for the raised portions, which I don't think the camera will really pick up the detail for you guys, at least not without a little lighting effort, but maybe I can get a good close-up at the end when we're ready. So I know it's been a long time since I've made a video, and I want to just say thank you for all of you who've continued to keep an eye out and post encouraging messages. Haven't been able to do as much with ASMR as I would have liked this last year, but you guys have been really fantastic and showing support even when there hasn't been new content, and that's much appreciated. Now I've mentioned a couple times that I've been working on material, and that is true. There are a couple of role plays in the works that hopefully I can get finished up for you guys. I have slightly more spare time at the moment. Still pretty busy, for reasons I will mention in a moment, but there's a little more flexibility in my schedule, which hopefully will allow me to take care of a couple of these role plays that I've been wanting to get finished for a while. One I think will be a little bit of a surprise. I won't talk about quite yet. The other one is going to be a doctor roleplay. I have something in mind, but if you guys have something specific you want to see around that, please let me know in the comments. I know that's a popular roleplay that I've done in the past. You guys have had a really great response to. So be sure and let me know what you're interested in around future Doctor roleplays. Oh yeah, these guys are just getting their nice little bits of highlights. Bring out their face and their arms a little bit. Just knock down color just a touch. I don't know if you guys can tell. Let's see. But these guys are wearing shorts, so they actually have little patches of knee that kind of need some love too. It's tricky because it's a pretty small gap between their shorts and their socks. These are British soldiers from the Africa front of World War II from the game Tide of Iron. I know I talked about in the first video, but if you haven't seen it, it's a game that recreates battles in World War II. And the initial game is focused in Europe, but this is from an expansion pack, which adds Africa and these British troops, their desert uniforms. It's a fun game, I like it, but I actually haven't played it in quite a long time. Maybe this will be some inspiration to go at it again once these guys get finished up. There's a couple different styles of characters that have different roles within the game. There's a man standing with binoculars. He's an officer. And then there's kind of a special troop or a commando. Those are machine gunners. The standard unit is just an infantryman. And these come out of the stands, but I usually find it easier just to paint them in it because it helps hold them. So, you know, I've mentioned in some of the comments and some of the videos that things have been extremely busy for me this last year. So it's been bad news for ASMR video production, unfortunately, but a lot of good stuff has been happening. It's been exciting for me and that I feel pretty good about. I hope all of you have been having good years as well. One of the major changes has been in my job, which a year ago I had been starting a new job, which kind of came at a time just as I was starting to get into full swing with producing videos, and kind of knocked me off that production schedule. But now a year later it has changed again. I'm doing the same things that I was doing in the job that I just left for the most part. However, the big change has been that it is now as part of my own company, which I formed with a couple of other people who I worked with, and we all got along really well and liked working together, and realized that we had an opportunity to start something on our own that had a lot of potential. So that's what we did here at the start of this year, which is a mix of exciting and stressful. If any of you have ever done the same, I'm sure you know that it is lots and lots of work and can feel very risky. We feel confident about what we can deliver, but it's still definitely a challenge to get everything up and running and to actually make it work. So we are actually a games company that will be building flight simulator type products. I'll tell you guys more about that as it comes along. Right now we're simultaneously producing our first product and seeking out investment. Keep us running for a little bit longer when we get started, which is a very, I suppose it's a cool process because you get to get people involved in something new, but it's also stressful trying to convince people to take a chance on your new company, get their investment. But like I said, I think we've got something pretty good. So I feel good overall about the process. But as you know, if you've ever started a company or small business, it takes up lots of your time. At least I have more say in when that time is spent, but no matter what, it's a lot. Hopefully we'll get some time here to make some new videos for all of you guys. So I know you've been waiting a while, and I'd love to deliver. The other area that's been keeping me quite busy, fairly serious hobby, which is related to this one, which is I've been working on some actual film productions that are non-ASMR, but exciting creative projects. That's something I will try to share with you guys. I think I'll put a link down in the description of this video so you can take a look at something that I've been up to, which was the other thing that was taking up lots of my time this last year. Like I said, it's non-ASMR, but some interesting visuals. It might be not quite as relaxing in some ways as ASMR, but I think a number of you might enjoy checking it out. So I'll definitely post that link. And I would love to share it with all of you. And hopefully that's something that will actually be developing more over time. I will have more to report on that front as well. But as you can tell, there's a lot going on right now, which can make me feel pretty stretched. So some of these things will probably be slower in coming to fruition. But we'll just have to see how it all goes. I like having the potential of a number of cool things happening. It's definitely time consuming and stressful, for sure, times, a lot of the time. But I like to keep busy in that way. New things brewing keeps life interesting, keeps me busy. I forgot about some knees on a couple of these guys. I'm going to have to go back and take care of that. Too busy talking instead of focusing on the heart of the matter at hand. Oh well. Yeah, the other consequences, it hasn't just been producing ASMR videos, but I actually haven't had a lot of time to watch other ASMR videos. I keep seeing my favorite artists coming out with fantastic stuff that I really haven't been able to watch too many of them, which is regrettable. And probably I would benefit from spending a little more time relaxing instead of running full bore with all of these different projects. But yeah, so much cool stuff out there. So many great content creators. Definitely worth spending some time checking it all out. Just getting a little too dry. Make sure it stays. Don't want the paint to dry in there. Just want it to be dry when applying to the miniatures. I realized I was changing my hand position there, so I hope I didn't have those guys off screen for all of you. Okay. If you guys have favorite videos that have come out recently, I'd love to hear what those are. I haven't had much time to watch. I'm sure I've missed some really great stuff. So feel free to call those out in the comments and I'll try to take a look. As if I didn't have enough projects going on, I've been working on refinishing a couple of guitars. I don't know if we've discussed my guitar playing in the past or not, I don't remember. But it is a hobby. But I'm trying to do a couple of restoration projects on guitars that I found that have been sort of beat up, but cool guitars that should be playable and out there in the world. I'd actually have planned to do some ASMR videos around that. There's kind of a number of interesting focus tasks associated with that. And the sanding and the staining process that I thought may make for good ASMR content, but as it turns out, that is not the case. Mainly due to neither project going as smoothly as desired, which led to lots of frustration and angry words, which would not be very soothing. well as liberal application of the belt sander and the orbital sander, which are not soothing ASMR sounds, I have to say. So that did not play out as a possible ASMR set, even though it would have been kind of interesting to talk through the process and show you how that all worked. I thought the process would have been quicker and less stressful than it has been. It's kind of cool to work on something like that and have it go from sort of nothing to a finished product. I think in the end it will have all been worth it, but definitely along the way it's been more of a challenge. But it's fun. It's something I've done before, kind of once in the past, and then got away from. But it's a fun type of project. You can probably hear my dog making an appearance on the recording at this point. He's a very noisy drinker. It's a pretty distinctive sound. Oops. A little too much paint there. Those guys are looking pretty good. I think there's a number more of these to do, but I think I'll do one more stand to wrap this video up. That's probably a good length. But I do just want to say thank you again to everyone who's kind of kept an eye on my channel and offered support along the way. Like I said, I really do appreciate that, and I do try to check in and see what you guys have been saying and see the new fans who have come along while I've been away, if you will, for a while. But it's good. It feels good to work on this video, and it's inspiring me to get back to work on finishing up a couple of those other videos so you guys can have some nice ASMR content to just kick back and relax with. Have a nice bit of stress relief in your day. But you definitely let you guys make it worth it with your support. So can't ask for more than that. this guy. Missing some uniform color. Kind of cheat a little bit. Do a little dust effect for him. All right. So, thanks again, everyone. I hope you have enjoyed this video and our little catch-up session. And I hope to see you all again soon. Have a wonderful evening.